I'm going to talk to you guys about ego death and ego inflation and what that means. But before I get into that, I would like to make a challenge and also ask me some questions. I'd like to do a Q&A. I've not done one in a very, very, very long time. So I would love to do a Q&A, ask me questions. I will answer them to the best of my ability. But also what the challenge is here is if you know anyone that is a atheist or a hardcore religious believer, send them this video, because I challenge them, even though it's not a challenge. I'm not going into this trying to prove anyone wrong. I don't want that to be the upfront thing here. Is I'm not trying to prove you wrong. So please come into this with the same respect that I'm giving you, and don't come into this just trying to prove me wrong. We're going to have a dialogue. I'm going to answer your questions. You can answer some of my questions. And at the end of it, I would like to prove to you what God really is, if you would allow me to. So anyone watching this that cares to do this, if you're an atheist, if you're a super religious person, please come and have a dialogue with me, and see where it goes from there. But what is ego death, and why does ego inflation come after that for a while? I'm going to explain to you both. What ego death is. It is losing the sense of yourself as a separate identity from me to you. Is what ego death is. There's various forms of ego death you can have, but the ultimate ego death is going into the oneness that you truly are. You realize there is no you, there is no me. It's just consciousness. That's ego death. However, as someone who has went down this road for close to 2 years, I can tell you that ego inflation comes with ego death until you realize and understand what you're doing and how to deal with it. Now, at any point in time you go down this road, which this will happen, there's different ways it can happen. You can go to a void. You can realize again that you're one with everything. The you that you think you are dies and gets plucked out of the life you think you're living. And there's going to be a certain point in time where you face, on my road, I'm just going to tell you, I ran into Buddha, I ran into God, and I ran into Christ. But here's the very messed up part about it. But it's the truth, so here it is. There's going to become a certain point in time to where you have an ego death, and your reaction to that is, I am God. Now, are you wrong by saying that? You're absolutely not. But the problem is that you think that you as yourself and your form and your ego is God. You think you're that God in the Bible that's above everyone. And that is, hopefully, with me guiding you and can help you here, you're going to realize that's not the case. Because it's not the case. That's just ego inflation. So when I say that God's love, and that is held within consciousness, and you're conscious, I'm trying to point you to a truth here that you are what is. But I'm not trying to point you to the fact that you're separate from everyone and you are this God in the Bible. That's not what I'm doing. And I don't want it to come across that way. I don't want anyone to be able to, I don't want anyone to perceive it that way, and I don't want anyone to think that, because I'm telling you that will happen. It can happen. It will happen, in fact, if you go down this road. So when you fully do this, and that epiphany occurs that I'm God, which, again, you're conscious. So anything that you think's God's held within that consciousness. I want you to realize that, hey, Blake told me this would happen, and I am aware that it is ego inflation. Is what it is. Now, there's other forms of ego inflation. You can have an ego death, and then you come out of it, and you think that you realize that you're one with everything, but then you start judging yourself. You think, well, I need to cut my hair a certain way to fit in. I need to trim my beard a certain way. I need to dress a certain way. I don't want people to judge me. I should do an extra 100 push-ups today. And that's ego inflation. And it comes with various forms of ego death until the point that you realize, I am one with everything. Now, what does I am one with everything mean? Again, going back to it's all held within consciousness and you're conscious. It is what it is. It's very beautiful. It can change your whole entire life if you let it, but it will take you to some dark places. Some extremely dark places. And the good thing is, again, there was no one there for me when this happened. But I am here for you when it happens, because if you choose to do it, it's going to happen. And also, please reach out to anyone that's a hardcore religious person or an atheist, because I would love to have a dialogue with them and talk to them. My end goal here is for us to come together on some common ground, and for them to hopefully, I will take their advice, but I would love as well for them to take my advice and try to go down this road and let them experience what God really is. That's my end goal. I was an atheist. I was a hardcore God believer in the Bible. I have done it all and seen it all, and my end goal is to change this place for the better, because what else better do you have to do? So I hope some of you guys join me on this journey. And I love every one of you. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care what you believe personally or don't believe personally. But realize it would benefit everyone to come together and love everyone the way I'm explaining to you that you should love everyone. It's all a game of division and form. So, love you guys.